I wanted to get into you talked about the mental part and people saying you're not nice and being built for that. Yo, like,
More emotional. That was emotional.
okay, emotional, right?
Emotional.
So, yeah, it's mind-boggling how hard cats are supposed to be with like all these AK-47s running around and like cats are sensitive when you don't like their music. I mean, listen, that's why I don't even do album reviews. I had a prominent underground cat, I always tell this story, review this shit. I gave him a generous 8 out of 10. Like,
Yeah.
looking back, it should have been like maybe a 7.
Right.
Gave him 8 out of 10. He was like disturbed about this shit. I'm like,
yeah.
What? Like, like people, and I tell people reading their own press clippings a little bit too much, man. Especially with this internet shit, got people gassed, thinking like, yo, I got independent artists, or I don't even know if I call them artists, cats on Instagram, like acting like they've been around for like 30 years and shit, like it's wild shit. I mean, and so, but I feel like a lot of these rappers, man, do not have thick skin and cannot take any criticism. And even the older cats, younger cats, people say, I mean, the older cats especially, I'm like, yo, I didn't like it. Sorry, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
and you gotta be an emotional fortress, my lord. You can't let your water spill. You can't put up anger. You know what I'm saying? You pick a part of your soul, you offer it, it vibrates to a air-like person. You know what I'm saying? It's not for everybody. And you got to accept that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a star in your own head, man.
Right.
You know
somebody, I posted just a picture of an X-Clan album cover one time, right before our last show. And somebody, like, trashed you guys. And I mean, I'm like, all right, like, whatever. You know what I mean? But it was like, I mean, I know cats that don't fuck with, West Coast cats that don't fuck with Wu-Tang at all. Like, I mean, people don't fuck with what they don't. It's like, what? That's you. You know what I mean? So
exactly. You gotta be numb, dog. Everybody's mentality is not on the same plane, bro. You gotta be numb and you gotta be focused, God body. You know what I'm saying? Or there's no reason for you to step in this game. You chasing. You got emotional hang up and you feeling these people coming in randomly trolling you or whatever case may be is going to affect your day. You cannot go into the realms of success, bro. There's absolutely no way. I don't care what level it's on. You know what I'm saying? You're wearing that shit, you're not going to be able to sleep. You're not going to be able to rest. You're always going to be trying to figure out, like, how can I make them like me? That's not your goal. Your goal is to put your contribution in and let it be what it is and see where you have to improve or where you have to step out. Period. You can't take that shit. And
what else did you have? Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I got the last section here, which is study.
Okay.
And the first question would be to, artists to themselves, well, do you have the attention span to study the business and its adjustments? Okay. Now, when I say that, it's a new era of business. All right. When cassettes became CDs, the business changed. Or cassettes and vinyl, this business changed. You got to study the adjustments. When the CDs became USB or whatever, mini disc, whatever the hell was going on, the business changed. Now it's social numbers defining your value. Okay. So the business changes. Do you have the attention span to study the new material? You can't say, I knew the business in 90. I was good enough to be a lawyer. All that business is thrown out the door on an artist level and on the administration level. Everybody has to study. Now, some people don't have the capacity to study the mechanics of the game. You can't be mad when you get a bum deal, when you don't have the attention span enough to sit down and say, what are the changes? How does that affect me? Okay. And how am I going to move? And do I want to move forward in these conditions? Some people have bowed out gracefully and don't want to deal with giving away material for free. You just paid $3,000 for a video and it's only worth 50 likes or whatever case may be. Some people feel like this is my time to get out. They feel like, yo, if I'm not sitting around cooning for paper or sponsors or whatever, I don't want to deal with it. Or you may not want to study what your splits are now, sound exchange versus sound scan, all these little things that come about. You can't be lazy in this game. All the things that we talk about along production and self-care and all of this, and then on top of it, you got business. You may feel like my mind is fried. Let the accountant do it. Let this person do it. Now, when they fuck you, don't get mad, because you put so much trust in these people to handle your mechanics. For whatever reasons they're loyal, that may be a short candle burning, brother.
And you have to know about, like, you can hire those people, but I always tell artists, you need to know about this shit. You need to know about advertisement and graphic design. So if you're getting a flyer made or a t-shirt made, you need to know what's a good price for that shit, like now, especially now. So as the industry's changed now, everyone's doing merch. Okay, so if you're doing merch, you need to know, like, okay, 4-color pressing, like, this is kind of how it goes, just so you know that you're not getting fucked. You know what I mean? Right. You don't have to, and then that way, or if you have an accountant, you can know, like, okay, like, no, I use that expense for that, like, not for this or some shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, and you can know if your books look kind of funny. You know, it's at least important to have your hands to be a little dirty with, like, you know, in terms of paying attention to what's going on, man. You know,
right?
You know what I mean? You
right.
have to.
And that's part of the next question. Do you have enough patience to update yourself in the adjustments of the craft? You know what I'm saying? You can't sit around and wish for the 90s and not accept, you know, what the hell the new tempo is, or whatever, you know, whatever the adjustment is. If you're rubbing against the grain, know that. So if you don't do trap and everything is trapped out right now, you got to say, I'm opera music, I'm river dance music, I'm whatever it is, and stay in your lane and know the adjustments that come with that. You can't ride other people's successes and stories of bullshit and molding your career. So you got to keep your ear to the street, because you may think like all of these responsibilities that we speaking of, and then at the end of the day, you got to sit around and listen to what's out there. There's only 24 hours in a day. You know, that may burn you out. The minute you don't put your ear to the street, you don't know what proper frequency you need to put out to penetrate, bro. You understand me? Regardless of what you like or don't like, it's not like you hear Lil Wayne that says, oh man, it's trap music, I got to do a trap song. No, you got to do a stronger version of yourself to keep people in your sphere.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. And again, it comes back to being yourself, man. That's always for me, it's got to be good enough. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Yes. What I got is what I got. And
that's it.
If you ain't rocking with it, you ain't rocking with it, and that's good. But if there's people, you know what I'm saying? So I fuck with them. And I always tell people, yo, fuck with the people that fuck with you. Don't worry about the people that don't fuck with you.
Correct.
Like, you know what I'm saying? The people that are rocking with you, find out why they're rocking with you.
Correct.
And grow and nurture that.
Right.
Fuck everybody else, man. Because listen, I've always been told, like, if you don't have haters, you doing it wrong. You know what I'm saying? If somebody ain't, you know, like, people ain't, they still talking shit about you. If people still following you, hating, they following you though. You look at them, they hating. I'm like, yo, you following me? You talking shit? Like, you just fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly,
so,
bro. Exactly.
What was the name of this category?
This was study. This was study. Having the patience to study further, keeping your ear to the street, keeping your mind on the business, the adjustments that happen. Do you have the attention span to keep the studies up?
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
And the last question in that area, and the last question period, is, do you trust yourself enough to know when your role evolves or when it's time to retire it? Okay. All right. So you got cats who never got a chance to come out, okay, and feel like, yo, it's time for me to be a star. It may not be. Your style may not have evolved in the time of your absence in the game enough for you to put yourself in it. All right. So you may have evolved to become a great writer or producer at that time. And the thing is, do you trust yourself enough to tell yourself the truth. I tell cats right now, sitting on 150 songs, 200 songs, and I'm saying, well, you're never going to get a chance to release all that fucking music. Okay? Why are you not writing for another artist? If we blame this generation for sounding all off or whatever, it's sometimes because we never sat down and say, yo, here's a different script. Try this. Because they're doing it anyway. All right? When these cats get to a certain level of success, they can't handle all the levels of press and this, that, and the other and have time to write a song like you used to. You don't have time to, I'm going to go lay in the back and get my favorite candy and I'm going to write my song or whatever case may be. You don't have that time anymore. So they're reading other people's scripts. Why not read a quality script? Why not see that your style may have evolved from performer to writer? Or you might have evolved from a performer to a producer, where you're taking the track from the producer now and putting the hook on and making the theme for an artist saying, try this. You know what I'm saying? And you have enough skill for all these years to guide them and say, nah, no cursing on this. Or, nah, you're not going to change that line to do whatever. You may just be taking their youthful energy to a place and seeing how that fits. So the question, again, do you trust yourself enough to know if it's time for you to evolve? Like, yo, I'm still nice. Let me go out and put at least 50 of these songs out of my 200. Or is it time to retire and start to bring in cats and say, I'm a writer now. I'm gonna start looking in on publishing money. When you learn the business, there's areas in the business. There's areas for ghostwriters. There's areas for, on the publishing levels. When you study the business for real, you see the different angles. And it may not always be the front man. People's ego be out of control. Again, a star in their own head. Okay? Got to pull out of that. So again, that's the last of the questions of study. Each one of these questions are for a person to look in the mirror and look at themselves in honesty and ask these kind of questions and say, yo, man, am I worthy of production? Do I have it to get up in the morning and train? People who are in the spotlight train 24 motherfucking 7. You may be a lazy motherfucker and may not want to do that. And that may be part of showing your improved level. You know what I'm saying? At least do something to make yourself presentable. You may not be Schwarzenegger and shit, but you're better than what you were walking to the corner store or in a regular setting. You got to respect and be grateful for the artist for the audience that fucks with you. You want to always come on your Sunday best. You want to come on your best mental health. You want to be an example and an inspiring figure. You don't have to be a role model. But it's always inspiration when you have that spotlight. There is a small responsibility, if not a bigger one. You know what I'm saying? To say, let me inspire the people that, yo, I came from this and now I'm here. Fuck with me. Here's the recipe of success. You can hear it in my voice and in my walk. Be willing to be brave. Have hard skin. Don't let people troll you and heckle you and feel like, oh, my God, one person out of 500 doesn't like me. I'm going to die tomorrow. It ain't that. So it's a self-evaluation on what the build is today, my Lord. And that was my last section of that.
Word. All right. Excuse me. I appreciate that because it starts from within.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, excuse me, goddamn, you broke it down. Like, it starts from, like looking at yourself, right?
Yeah.
So, hold on for 1 second.
Mm-hmm. It must be that good, bro. What you burning over there?
Yeah. The medicinal. Yeah.
I want to get on your weed nugget show. I want to get on that one too and shit.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that kid. So big up to he's one of our sponsors, Buddy Green.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do promo for this show. I got some water. I'm good. Thanks. Buddy Green, official Buddy Green. Yeah, so he's a talking weed nugget that spits, he spits the lessons.
Yes.
And he spits jewels about Black history, and he's also, you know, he does promo for us and stuff like that. So we rock with them.
Yes.
The herb keeps me from like going berserk, and I don't like prescription shit. I've tried that stuff, so
yes, sir.
I've gone back to what I know, and it keeps me like on the level. So that's where I'm at. So
that's what that's what it was made for, brother. That's why it grows out of the earth, to keep us.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it keeps me at a nice level. So
yeah. Man.
So what I want to get into as far as that goes,
yes,
is like some of the practical things that older cats can do, to like really, to kind of keep it going, because so I'm coming from a different, you're coming from an artist perspective.
Right.
I'm coming from a fan and just outsider, like industry interviewer cat, like, okay, like, why are you moving like this? And so here's what I see. Older artists need to embrace this social media shit.
Yes.
In some shape or form.
Right.
You have to be on here. First of all, I'll say, if you're serious, let's put this out here. If you're serious about trying to push your craft, no matter if you're any type of artist, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Any type of brand you got going on, if you're serious about that, it's like, yo, you have to have it. I'm sorry.
Indeed. And you got to pace that. You got to pace that, because it's not about I'm taking a picture of my food, I'm eating, I'm walking with my girl, or it's not about that. It's being active with your fan base. It's the same thing as going to the merch table after a show. You show gratefulness. That's why I accepted this invitation. When you say, yo, man, let's start something together. I said, I don't do a lot of live. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the time. And I said, let me craft open the time, because we're not touring. I'm not able to come to the table and shake hands and take a photo, or whatever case may be. So I said, let me let my voice be heard, to where it's not always singing and rhyming and rapping and shit. Let me have, build some reason with my audience and shit, and my family. And it's been a blast, dog. I mean, you speaking the gospel. When you're kicking that right now, to say, yo, man, you got to embrace it. Labels I was signed with were like, when it was early, MySpace days, you got to go online, you got to do this. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with that, because, I was stuck in my era of what I was doing. I said, I don't need to be on there. I'll put the page up and I'll put a couple songs up, but I don't want to be interacting. Hey, what's up every day and touching this thing. It wasn't a norm then. But, the medium started opening up, and people started depending on using this to touch who they love and respect. And I had to learn, just like you saying, you gotta participate. You can't stand outside of the game and be on your own dick like that, man. You gotta give. I make videos for songs I did a long time ago, and I'm not putting them out to say, go to my site, go sell merch, this and that. I have sometimes that I just want to give. There's moments that I do business, but there's times that I just want to give back and just say, yo, man, here's this video for y'all. Y'all been asking me for, in the DMs and in the comments and shit, and I'll throw something at them. You got to be willing to give on this internet platform, give something back in return as well. So I 100% agree with that, my Lord.
Yeah, and it goes to kind of the next thing in terms of this. Yeah, this is a relationship. You know what I mean? And like, the fans, whether they're buying it or, whether they're bootlegging it, like the fans that are supporting, coming into shows, whatever, buying the merch and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, it's like, it's a two-way street. I mean, fans can be weird and fucking crazy and all that shit, but it's a two-way street. So but like, it's from the technology side of it, you gotta be on here, yo. Like, it's not the old days. There's no A&Rs running around. There's no street team. There's nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, so, which leads me to the second thing is, you older cats, please stop thinking people give a fuck anymore. Nobody cares.
Real shit.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
Like, they don't care. There's too much shit out there for them to care anymore. It's not like back in the day. Remember back in the day when you could drop an album every 2 years, every year, and people would like wait and salivate over that shit. Now, if you're not dropping joints like every, like few months, it's like, yo, he fell off. Like older artists really think they hold on to music. This is what I'm saying.
Yes.
I know cats that are holding on to so much shit, waiting for this perfect time to drop, the perfect storm to drop. Nobody gives a shit. I'm sorry.
Exactly. You got to get up. You got to reinvent yourself and stay off your own dick, man. I mean,
nobody. This isn't 86, 87 no more, man. Like nobody cares about like that fire joint you did.
Correct. And it's difficult because in the X-Clan perspective, those songs brought people out of, becoming a dark side of themselves. And I'm saying, look, I was 17, 18 years old at that time frame. The message has become different and clearer. The wisdom is different now. Give the new era of whatever I'm doing an opportunity. Some artists hang on to that old point as a comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? A pocket of, I'm safe here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's not the best way to handle it in my case. You can get that 10 G's a show for singing those old joints, but for you to refresh the craft, it keeps what we did more relevant to say, he's not just harping on my mind and playing with my emotions, just singing the past. These motherfuckers got new joints, and this is as potent, if not more, than what I was receiving. You know what I'm saying? They got to have faith in themselves. That's why these questions were directed at self, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to look in the mirror and say, what am I contributing? If I'm talking about the return of whatever the hell may be, what do I have to offer now versus what's happening? The problems are different. With the new millennium, it's a whole different basket of issues than what you was facing in the 90s era or whatever the case may be. So you really got to be geared up music-wise, and you can't be stuck on just sampling the loop. You got to play an instrument. You got to do, or get people who do play an instrument. The sound and the way people hear things is different now. You know what I'm saying? It's like if we played a video game right now, and I'm looking at asteroids back in the 80s with a little speck on the screen, and now it's 3D. You can dip into the game and do all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's two different worlds. So you can't be a game maker and be talking about, I'm gonna stick to the old format. I'm just gonna color the blip a little differently, and we're gonna do the same thing, and everybody's gonna fuck with me, man. No.
Be on some Pong shit with the boop, boop.
Word, bro. Exactly, fam.
Yeah,
it don't work like that.
So I'm gonna give motherfuckers a jewel from the industry side of it, the promo side of it, marketing side, social media. For now, listen, I'll tell y'all cats, no amount of promo is enough, first of all. Like, if you're promoting something, because of the algorithms and shit on these things, no amount of promo is enough. At the same time, I'll say this. In social media world, time is different. 1 week is like 2 months in the real world. So if you promo, like if you got an event going on next week and you promo it a month out, nobody gives a shit. Sorry. They don't care.
Real shit.
I don't do any promo anymore for our shit, for any shows, for anything like that until a day before. Sometimes, usually it's like 3 days before. Like, so if the show's on a Wednesday, I'll do promo Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like one post or something, or Tuesday, Wednesday. Sometimes just Wednesday, but like no more than a couple of days. Nobody cares if it's about like a month from now. I mean, this is different. You're not putting flyers up on a telephone pole anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
Different.
Yeah,
it's like people can't consume. That's the thing. They consume so much. They need to see what's right in front of them. Like when I did promo for like weeks, nobody cared. I did the same numbers that you did if you promoted for like a day before. I'm going to keep.
Correct.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So it's a very important thing.
Yeah, and they got to really get, again, out of being stuck in the era where the street teams and the different people was doing the job. No, man. You gotta post where it's matter. You gotta get power affiliations. All right. you got to go and say, okay, if I'm not paying for PR to pump me out constantly like this, I got to get with my affiliates and my family who has audience to pump my shit out. And you can't oversaturate the wave. If you're a pain in the ass, again, nobody's going to fuck with you, bro. If you're a pain in the ass, but if before you go on air, you politely hitting some shit to say, be here, and it's power people pushing your shit, you have an easier way to gather your audience, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make your friends wisely in this game, man. Everybody, everybody can't do it, man. Right. Everybody can't do it, man.
Everybody can't. And I'm gonna give a practical tip for newer artists, or anybody really, but really newer artists that are saying they rap and do something. Have your shit on your page. Don't say you rhyme and then you go to your page, just you smoking blunts, or you just standing there taking pictures, holding money, you're doing whatever stupid shit, and there's no music there because we keep it moving. Our attention, everybody's attention. You got like 2 seconds to catch. Yo, swipe. Okay, so good. Our attention, our mind, our eyes, our brain, endorphins, serotonin, all that shit is going. We're trying to, and we're taking in all of this information.
Right.
And occasionally we see something that catches us. You got a couple of seconds. If you're gonna send me to your page, and there's just you, 4 pictures, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I tell cats, like, be serious. This goes back to really just being serious about your shit, man. Like, if you're about it, like, then be about that. Like, have another page where you're just bullshitting then. You know what I'm saying?
Production is important. Production is important in this point because this is a visual era, okay? So you got to have active shit, and that means you got to spend money to create videos. People watching videos like they listen to the Walkman back in the day or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have visual. You got to be active with that, and you got to get you a little crew that's not going to overcharge you to capture what you're doing. Again, are you worth production? Is the music in the song that you did worth enough for you to pull 2 racks out of your pocket to go hire a camera to do some shit to give your fans video perspective? You know what I'm saying? You got to produce. It's not like get in front of the phone and just do it all the time. You got to show, I'm grateful for y'all fucking with me. Let me put something up here that gives you a visual of what I wrote. And now the connection gets deeper, the relationship. And the fan says, and the supporter says, yo, they gave a fuck about me enough to put a visual to one of my favorite joints. I love this song. I feel closer to homie now. It's that simple, But if you didn't give a fuck sitting on the toilet singing the rap and you felt that was the video, you're not going to have a fan base for long, my lord. Just being 100. You're not going to have it. It's about being grateful, man, and respecting yourself in this. If you don't have that balance, it's not going to go too far, my lord. Just in my opinion.
No, it's true. I mean, like, it's again, it goes back to, and listen, what we just talked about though can be applied to anything. It's not just about like rap or anything like that. It's like, if you're not introspective, if you're not self-aware, if you're not humble, if you're not, really honest with yourself about what is, because listen, we all know if we really check our guts with like different situations, we know what the right thing to do is more often than not. It's not really hard to figure out. We may do something else differently, but we know what it really is. So it's like, if you're not all of these things, so that's what it really comes down to, like the really, discipline and like, really paying attention to like what it is. And it's like, if you're not looking at those things, then it's easy to get swallowed up in this shit, man. There's so many assholes in this game. So then, you gotta be on point physically. You gotta be on point mentally. You gotta be like sharp. You gotta like, it's words of wisdom for like any situation though.
Yeah, bro. I wish to, to put these lessons out to folks to just look at themselves and say, yo, man, the game is oversaturated. You know what I'm saying? form super groups. Everybody can't rap. Somebody got to be administration. Somebody got to be management. Somebody got to be art department. Somebody got to be different elements of really what makes, you know, we could have different record situations happening per blocks in the hood. You know, if people just get off the ego, but if everybody wants to be the solo master or whatever, you're going to have a bunch of people competing. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to sometimes evolve into another side of the game. People do it all the time. You know, what you wanted to be when you went to school, you might not have got there. You might have found another lane and you evolve to try to get back on your shit. Same thing with this. You didn't get a chance to rap. What, you going to try to be a star 20, 30 years later and try to say, yo, I didn't get my chance. Let me just go ahead and create the YouTube. Yo, there's steps to follow if you're doing that. Because when you fail, it makes that part of the game look bad. The more of the non-superstar, it makes it look like they're not capable. There's so many talented people that are not in the superstar bracket of the industry, and if they don't present themselves right, you take the game backwards. You make it look like you need extra grooming, extra this, that, and the other. When you look at yourself for real, you can go ahead and meet that quota 75% and say, hey, I'm not superstar status, but I got myself here, and then my team took me the other 25%. Now we a banging squad. Okay? You can't do it by yourself like that, bro. Yeah, and try to reach the higher levels and shit. And anybody trying to say that shit that feel that they're winning, they're bullshitting themselves. You know what I'm saying? Or their goals were low. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting to no Jay-Z level out of your crib, sitting in the bathroom, rocking on your phone, my nigga. It's not going to happen like that. It takes a lot of endurance. It takes a lot of sacrifice, and you got to be honest with yourself. And if you can't do it, get a team together and contribute. Yo, I was a good writer 15 years ago. I can help with hooks. I can help when the bars get weak on your shit. I can give some suggestions and help mold. This is what I require for me to consult the project. And you don't go in there and try to stranglehold the project and say, give me $1 million, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You may go, yo, man, just give me a part of the splits of what I write and leave it at that. And you contribute to the process without putting a bill on whoever is the front runner, the front man. You know what I'm saying? That's real. I'm sure when Cass was playing with Jordan, it's like, look, I can't score 40 like that, but I'll be in my spot. So when they do contain you, I will pop that three. Right. I will get that rebound. I will be on the wing. If they contest you and your shit, you got to know your contribution. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get rid of the ego and represent whoever the Jordan is. Put the powers on them. You know what I'm saying? That's what Jay-Z did. That's what Master P did. That's what Puppy did. You know what I'm saying? You don't go into them camps and not realize who the boss is. You feel me? And that's the person on the ship with the binoculars saying, yo, I see land. And they trust that. And they keep rowing. That's a trust. But he can't do it without them. So everybody is a boss in their position. This is not an ego battle. You know what I'm saying? The spokesman is not the person to say, get on your knees and jump off the boat and swim behind it. It's not that. It's the person that says, yo, I'm able to speak in behalf of this squad to make sure that we all eat. And if you trust that person, then that agreeable energy is going to excel the project, my lord.
No, of course. You go back to the sports analogies there. I mean, you look at the teams that like had role players, Rodman getting all the rebounds, or Ron Harper getting the key rebound, key steal. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the Bulls teams, they had, you know what I'm saying? John Paxson making threes. You know what I'm saying? B.J. Armstrong making threes, like critical threes. You look at Robert Horry got like 65 rings, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like because he, you know, like he knew his role. He's been everywhere. Like, so
correct.
You got cats like that. So that's when a team is powerful, when they all know their position.
Yes.
And they play it to the fullest. Like, okay, I do this. Like I shovel the coal into the ship, you know, to the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Like,
and why are you less of a boss because you're shoveling and somebody's just doing the train like this? Everybody's a boss in their area.
You're keeping it going. listen,
Correct.
I lived on an ashram, and that was my job to in the morning to put wood in the fire. And if I one time I slept in, we all froze because that was the wood fire for everything. So like everybody had cold, like 30-degree showers in the middle of Pennsylvania in like December. So
Real shit.
like it's all important. The janitor's important. Everybody's important. So like, but when they know that that's this is my spot.
Yes.
And I'm gonna excel in this spot. Then everybody's shining, man. Everybody's shining.
Everybody's shining, bro.
Everybody's shining because they're all comfortable. They're fulfilled with what they're doing, and they're being rewarded for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's when teams are like really powerful. When nobody's, it's like, okay, here's a leader.
Yes.
We see his or her vision. We rock with that. We're going to do our part because we see the end game. Like, you know what I mean? They put the vision out there. We see it. And it's like, okay, we rock with you and we're going to play our part. And then it's like we all get there and everybody sees, yeah, we all eat. Because they say the servant of the king eats just as good as the king.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Real shit. You know, we got to let go of the ego, man. It's already an ego game to be in entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But the balanced ego.
Especially in hip-hop.
Yeah, especially hip-hop, man. It's based on it, bro. So, you got to balance that. You can't let the cup spill out, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep enough to say, yo, man, all my people's goblets are filled up with cream, man,
Right.
I don't have to overdo mine and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, once we get to that point, bro, the game will repair itself. Otherwise, it's going to be foolishness. It's going to be, because it's easy to be stupid, man. But when you have quality talent, you got to build quality around it. And the industry has abandoned quality. They don't care about quality anymore in the verbiage of things. Right. So if that market has to be recreated, these are some of the steps to help us find the chosen talent. Okay? If everybody's the shit, we can't choose. We eventually going to have to choose one.
Right,
okay?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's fill out who's the nicest right now. Who meets these standards of what we're talking about to the fullest? Who got the tough skin? Who got the leadership ability? Who can go on here, reinvent themselves and make it all look good for us and set that, and set that path for us. That's the one you want to fuck with, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, once we get there, my Lord, otherwise the game doesn't deserve to be on a platform. We can get rid of this underground label of things on the negative side and get to where it's like, yo, man, this is respected craft from non-superstar artists. Okay? So when when we open up that channel, it'll mean more. You understand? Right. Some people feel the underground is just like, yo, let me just keep throwing CDs at cats and just rhyming and showing that I'm nice, whatever. That shit does nothing to change the weather, my Lord. You got to be a game changer saying, yo, man, this is what hip hop is supposed to sound like in the future. Y'all ain't been playing it enough. I'm going to be so dope that you're going to want to play me on commercial, independent, whatever station it is. A good song is a good song, no matter where it comes from. You feel me? So we have to have that kind of confidence. These areas where we're talking about, install that confidence inside the individual, my Lord. It's needed. It's needed.
Yo, damn. We got to get on out of here. I got a show in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, man. It's always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, always. Yo, it was great. I mean, we got like almost 2 hours of shit. So,
always.
It was wonderful. It was good. I can't wait till April and see what we got going. I mean, it's fun. So this was episode 3, Constant Elevation. We're going to chop it up and, we'll put it, it's going to be on YouTube, I'll tag you and all that stuff and blah, 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 but it'll be up soon. I mean, so we'll get some clips up and everything like that, get it on the YouTube channel. But yeah, Constant Elevation with Brother Jay. This is good. This is the 3rd one. I think we're both equally excited about like, what's coming from it. So it was good. We hope people that got a lot out of it. Thanks for everybody for coming back round 2.
Word. Thank you everybody for tuning in, man. Y'all spread the word, man. We'll be back next month, man.
First Wednesday of the month. First Wednesday of each month. And just real quick before we go, show wise, we got Part 2 with Kwame on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Tell
Yeah,
my friend what's up, man.
if you're around, jump in. Part 2 with Kwame. We got MDOT, and then we got Special Ed.
Oh, that's dope.
In a few weeks. So,
Give them my
and
regards, man.
then,
Peace
yeah.
and
So
respect
then,
to everybody that tuned in, man.
yeah,
Definitely.
respect to everybody that tuned in. So it was great. Can't wait to do it again. Salute. Be good, man. Love to the family. Be safe, for real.
Peace, God.
All right, peace.
100.